If you're a sales team using HubSpot and you're still selling to just one contact when maybe there should be 6 people involved in the decision making, well, this HubSpot feature is for you. Today, we're going to be showing you how to use buying groups, a true decision making map right inside of HubSpot. And if you're new here, this is HubSpot Hacks by Simple Chat, your go to channel for practical HubSpot tips and tutorials that help marketing, sales, and ops teams streamline their workflows and unlock more value out of HubSpot. So let's get into it. So jumping right in here, our buying groups are going to exist in 2 areas in HubSpot. So first, we want to remember that buying groups really is company centric. So we are starting at the company record, but we can also see our buying groups in our deals, which is of course where we're going to be trying to move that needle. So starting off in a company record here, I've got my buying group summary card already added to my overview view tab. So if you have not used a buying group before and don't have that available in your view, we can do that pretty easily by coming into our customize option directly from a company record. We can go ahead and update our view. So if you have multiple, you'll go through any of the different ones that you might need to set it up for, but we'll just go ahead and update our default. And then we would simply be adding in that new card if we don't, again, already have it. And so you can go ahead and search for that buying group summary and you'll have an option to add that card directly in. So once you do that, you are at least all set with the first step. So coming back to our record here, we can go ahead and start crafting our buying group. So as we get started here, we are actually going to have some options to even craft the map itself. So you can create a buying group template, which I would recommend spending the time to get that template built if you sell to the same types of companies within an industry that have the same similar structure. So if you know it's always going to be, a CEO at the top, a director of marketing underneath that, a marketing manager from there, and then maybe a couple of other, employees nested underneath it. If you know that that's typically the structure, then I would recommend go ahead and using a buying group template so that you don't have to start from scratch every single time. And you can essentially craft a little map yourself here to add in different roles. So we'll do director, and then we can always do options to add left, right, and down until you're happy essentially with the entire flow map of your organization chart. Again, you typically would expect to see. So that's if you would like to use a template, if that works for your type of company and your type of business. Otherwise, we can go ahead and go back, get out of here, and click back one more time, and we can actually just assemble by hand, which we'll go ahead and do for this time's sake. But you can also do a automatic build. So this can look at the different job titles and roles that maybe already exist within your contact records that are associated to the company, and it's going to try to craft it. And then of course you can make edits from there. But otherwise, we can just also assemble this by hand if we kind of want to make our own chart that we want to graph out. So we can start with just going ahead and adding in different people, and we can decide, is this person a manager, an employee, maybe just an individual, rep that helps with that company. So we can go ahead and add in those different relationships. We'll just add a couple of people here. All right, so let's say this is our chart for Gilmore Girls. We've got Suki as our head chef, who is going to be our ultimate decision maker. Got Lorelai here in the middle, and then we've got some additional employees underneath her. So from here, we can see, just a quick snapshot of some of the contact information, but also even starting to see, hey, we do have some deals that are associated in particular with these contacts. So kind of gives you a nice big picture of what's going on. So once we've got this kind of charted out with our people that we need to pull in as part of the buying group and decision-making process, then we can start to assign those different roles. So once you've clicked on that contact, you can go ahead and set that buying role, and you'll see these are all of the standard options that we have out of the box from HubSpot. Now you can customize these a little bit. We don't have full control, so we cannot delete or rename any of the options that are here, but you can add to this list and make a more custom list if you don't love the language that HubSpot is using. And then you can also come over here to the side and choose to essentially kind of edit these colors a bit. I think the ones that are in here kind of make sense, but if you want to really have control over colors and brandings, you can update those labels, and then you can go into the settings for the actual property for buying role, and you can add additional options if you'd like to. But otherwise, we can go ahead and start updating exactly what the different roles this person might have as part of that buying committee. So here we'll go ahead and add Lorelai with a couple of different roles. So she is definitely still part of the decision maker. She's the influencer, and we'll say she's also part of the legal and compliance. But then we might have um, Rory down here. Let's go ahead and still make her a decision maker, but she is not, ultimately someone that has, budget authority or anything like that. And then maybe we have someone that is a little disgruntled and is not exactly an advocate for us. So maybe they are a blocker. And then over here, we could go ahead and add Jess in and say, I don't know, that he is still somewhat of an influencer in this decision making process. So you can kind of zoom out and start to see exactly what we need to be targeting and focusing on when it comes to our sales approach with this company in particular. So again, multiple roles can apply, and really the idea is to help you identify where the gaps might be in this decision making chart when it comes to our buying roles. So if we only, really know that we have one decision maker tagged and everyone else is kind of questionable, it means we need to nurture that relationship a little bit more, start to understand exactly how these people are working together and what role they might be playing in particular with whatever product or service you're trying to sell, so that we're overcoming different obstacles when it comes to that. Especially if there is a long procurement process for selling to them. Well, we need to know who is on that legal and compliance team. Who do we need to make sure we're speaking to and getting across those different roadblocks. Now with this, we can also turn on an activity heat map, which is a pretty cool feature. Since these are test, people are not going to show us a whole lot of information because I don't have any activities being tracked here. But you can break this out into both sales activity and marketing activity for you to be able to see, who within our buying group is actively in conversations with us. Do we have deals that are open with them? Are they opening and engaging with any of our marketing materials that we're sending? So we're able to start understanding a little bit more about the habits and activities going on with our contacts that are associated with our buying groups. So, this is very much coaching data. This is something that will help you if you are a sales manager, ask better questions to your sales reps as you're doing, regular checks and reviews. Instead of this being a status update about your deals, this can now turn into more of a strategic session where we talk about, okay, how do we find out more information? How do we need to be speaking to this particular buying role a little bit differently? What can we do to overcome certain objections that they might have as the budget holder or as someone that is in legal and compliance, or maybe you have a blocker of someone that had a bad experience with your company in the past. There's a ton of different explanations as to why you can have these different roles and how you can speak to them and really help push that sale. So I think this is a very powerful tool as, both a sales manager and someone on a sales team who is, really trying to level up their use of HubSpot, really understanding their data and their deals. So of course, this is at the company level that I started, but we can see this exact same information at the deal level, just like we can at the company level. So I'm gonna go ahead and just close this out. All right, so now we still have that same visual. Once we've closed it out, you can kind of zoom in a bit and see that information, but let's go ahead and jump over to a deal that we are working in particular. And then we will still have the exact same visual available. So again, if you don't have that automatically, you'll go to customize. You can add that card into your overview section here, and you're still able to toggle on things like the activity heat mapping that we were while we were had the buying group open and we were editing it. And then we can even change this to be more of a list view if you're not a super visual person, but I personally like the visual so that I can see kind of the hierarchy. But up to you and your preferences there on which visualization works better for you, especially if this is a very large chart. It might be hard to start seeing some of the names and things like that. And then we have that toggle for our activities and being able to change between sales and marketing activity as well. So we will be able to see, again, this data both on the company and the deal. I just would recommend starting at the company level because you can always make tweaks if you need to for a particular deal in particular. You might have someone that has a little bit more influence for whatever reason. You can always add those people in. But I do think strategically thinking about this, think about it from the company level first before you tailor it to any specifics for deals that you're working. So other ways that this data can be used that's valuable, we can use this in marketing, so not just sales, but making sure that we build out some either campaigns or maybe just providing additional material for sales, speaking to those different types of buying roles. I'll go ahead and open this back up so you can see again what all the options are for the different buying roles. So as someone that might be helping create collateral for someone in sales, you want to be able to maybe create different pieces of content that speak to people that are budget holders, that are decision makers, that are sponsors, that are legal. And then, of course, you can create other options as well. But you can leverage this type of information in workflows, in lists. So this information transfers to every area in HubSpot. We can report on it as well to even see based on deals that are won, did all of them have a champion, right? And if that's a big deal for you, if you notice that that win rate is much higher when there's a champion associated into that buying group versus when it's not, that kind of tells you we need to always make sure we're identifying that type of champion. Or if we start to notice that we have a lot of blocker roles being added and we're losing a lot of deals, that also gives you other indicators. So I think this is a very powerful tool to give you more insights into your deals and the relationships that you have with the people that are ultimately making those decisions. So I hope that you found this helpful, but really that's it for our demo of buying groups for today. So if you also would like to get more tips like this that are delivered to your inbox every week, you can always join our HubSpot Hacks newsletter that is linked in our description. We do share real strategies, product updates, and even client testimonials of things that we're actively doing for our clients every single week. So be sure to subscribe there and check us out for our next video. Thanks.